I think that if I would have quit and then just stayed quitting, where would I be right now? I mean, I'm so thankful that it's not always one and done. Sometimes you have to come back to start over again. And that does not mean that it's a failure in my personality or my personhood. It's being a human being. Right. I mean, sometimes we have to go back and start again. And I'm so thankful for it. And like you, it's stuck this time. Like we're moving forward with this. And I'm so excited to hear not just the tremendous success that you've had in your body and in your health, but that you're out there doing something with the success that you've gained.
Welcome to Keto Beyond the Couch, episode 184.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two crazy ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome.
Yes, welcome. If you are new here, say hi down below.
Now, here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and every Monday, we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch, where we just kind of talk about what's going on in our lives for the week.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way, every single time it's Monday, you'll be alerted to it.
So let's get this right out there. We are not currently live.
I hope we are currently alive.
We are alive. I know we're alive, but we are not currently live here on Monday. If you are watching this at 10 a.m., we are doing this as a pre-recorded Keto on the Couch because we've never missed one.
Never.
So we wanted to make sure we got this done.
We didn't even miss one when we got COVID.
No. Oh, if we were a mess when we did it, but we did it.
Disgusting looking.
So we decided, since we are going to be driving home from the Proper Human Diet Summit, we want to make sure we got this out there. So we pre-recorded it, and it is still set up as a premiere, which means the video itself is going up at 10 a.m. on Monday at the normal time. The chat, if you were here at 10 a.m. Eastern time, is live. Hopefully, we are in there right now.
Say hi if you're in here right now, Rachel, talking to me.
The plan is to be premiering this, us be live in the chat, but we can't guarantee that because we're going to be driving home and there's a chance we won't have internet whenever this particular video comes up. But if we're not there, please chat amongst yourselves. That's why we love premieres, because you guys are interacting with each other, and that is so important to us.
Coffee talk. Chat amongst yourselves.
So if you're new here, Keto on the Couch is all about subscribers. We like to celebrate subscribers, answer questions, find success stories, find non-scale victories, and really share them with you because, again, we feel that you cannot do this without community. We really like to focus on community, again, why we like to do this live or at least premiere most of our videos. So we're going to jump right in with Keto College Adjunct Professor of the Week. This is an inspirational post that we found either on Facebook or on Mighty Networks. Make sure you're a member of our Mighty Networks group. There's a link down below, or our Facebook family group, or both. You can go ahead and join both. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and you hit that bell button so you're notified when we upload videos. We're going to start off with the first one. It's from Kaya?
Or Kaya?
Kaya. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right.
We're probably not, though. I'm sorry.
This was a quote from Queen Elizabeth II. She said, "Let us not take ourselves too seriously. None of us has a monopoly on wisdom."
That is so stinking true. And if the Queen of England said, don't take yourself so seriously, I need to take that to heart, because sometimes I try to just get my keto so right, so perfect, that I almost judge my value based on how perfect I am at everything. And it's not good. It's not healthy. We need to, and sometimes laugh at ourselves, not in a bad way, but just, enjoy our life.
We need to have a little bit of fun. And when it comes to our keto lifestyle, we need to do the best we can, but don't get too serious about it. Don't get wrapped up in everything has to be perfect. I talk about all the time, strive for perfection. No, you're never going to achieve it. We are never going to be perfect.
No.
90% is good enough. Now, 90% good enough is not permission to go have some sugar and some carbs once in a while.
No, that's not even near 90%.
No, what we're talking about is don't freak out if occasionally you have something enter in that is sort of keto friendly, but not perfect. For example, we don't really believe that we should be drinking a lot of water out of plastic bottles because plastic, not that great for us. Go check out the video that we recently had on that. I'll leave a link right up here. But we're on the road right now. So guess what? We're probably going to have some water out of a plastic bottle.
But it ain't hot.
But overall,
it's going to
we
be cold.
try to avoid it. Same thing with aluminum foil. Same thing with maybe going out to eat and maybe a little bit of, extra spice or maltodextrin or something hits your food. We're not going to freak out so long as most of the time, 90% of the time, we're doing exactly what we want for our eating lifestyle. Otherwise, we end up taking ourselves way too seriously.
So true.
Next one is from Angina. Lisa put, happy Friday, family. I hope everyone has a great day. How about a little encouragement and motivation to start the day? And it is this great Snoopy meme. It says, life isn't meant to be easy. It's meant to be lived. Sometimes happy, sometimes rough. But with every up and down, you learn lessons that make you strong.
So good. Thank you so much for this reminder, Lisa. I've had a lot of wisdom shared to me through Snoopy. Snoopy and Sesame Street really has some good tips for life, whether you are 3 or 300.
Right.
I enjoy it. So thank you for that reminder.
Yeah, I love that. Now let's get into some success stories. We like to call these subscriber of the weeks. And these, again, are from either Mighty Networks or Facebook. We ask you guys all the time, share your story. Sharing your story is so important. We recently talked about that on a podcast. But when you share your story, two things happen. Number one, it's going to help you remember where you came from. And that is really important because when you get to a point where maybe you're like, oh, should I keep doing this? You can look back at where you were originally.
That's right.
But also, when you share your story, you're helping someone else. You may not think you are, but when you put your story out there, there is somebody else out there right now that is going through what you've gone through or what you are currently going through. They think they're alone. And when you share your story, you help inspire them. So it's really important. Share your story. And the first one, by the way, get some tissues for these because these are pretty good.
Oh.
First one is from Amy.
Hey, Amy.
Amy said, day 12 of beef, butter, bacon, and egg, chronicling my journey on page 8 created. Before pics are from before keto. Started keto on June 19th of 2022. So not long ago. I started beef, butter, bacon, egg on August 31st of 2022.
Wow.
The jeans are a size 4. I haven't been able to get on my body for at least 6 years. Still not for public viewing. Well, we're about to publicly view them.
Right.
But I'm getting there. And I disagree. I think these are for public viewing because take a look at this.
Amy!
Look at those before and after.
Incredible. You're talking about June to August? We're like in September now? Like, you look incredible.
That is amazing. Look at, she's got a waist.
What a difference.
Wow.
Super, super awesome. And you must feel so good in your body. Not just like, I feel good about my body, but you're feeling good in your body.
Yeah.
Because I know for myself, it wasn't just the weight loss, it was the health gain.
Yeah.
It was feeling comfortable in, my skin started to feel better and my digestive system felt better. And I mean, you just felt more in control of your body. Way to go.
Congratulations, Amy.
That's awesome.
Let's move on to the next one. The next one is from Charlene.
Hey, Charlene.
Again, get your tissues. Okay, Charlene said, I struggled with weight most of my life, but was very active, so it wasn't a huge problem. Now, I do want to say before we go any further, I have cut this down a little bit and added, changed words just to shorten sentences, but it's the whole story for the most part. She said, as years went on, I kept gaining and I reached 258 pounds in September of 2019 when I learned about keto and I slowly cut the carbs and sugar. Carbs are not difficult, but sugar is my heroin.
Oh, yeah.
I'm an addict, but in recovery most of the time. By 2020, I lost 70 pounds.
Wow.
My son went to sleep and never woke up after losing his battle to heroin in 2016.
Oh.
Needless to say, I was in bad shape both mentally and physically. I found myself glued to my son's duct tape recliner with a shrine for him nearby. I finally said nothing changes if nothing changes. That is so good.
That's so true.
And I started my keto journey. I still have a way to go, but at almost 71, I am more active than I have been in years. I swim, kayak, and exercises for scoliosis. I've been stalled for a while, but I am looking forward to attending Dr. Barry's Proper Human Diet Summit on September 17th and meeting the two crazy ketos and extended keto family.
Oh, Charlene. Charlene, that is so beautiful. Oh my gracious, and look at your precious son. Oh my goodness. I can't even imagine the heartache that you've had to go through and the fact that you have kept going. I love that you shared your son's chair because we all have a chair of decision, no matter what, where we're deciding like, this is where I stop doing something and I start doing something. And I'm so thankful that you have put the hard work in to make this change for yourself. And I'm so excited. Now I'm even more excited to go to the PhD Summit because I know you're going to be there. So congratulations on your success. I know your son is so proud of you. Just an incredible, incredible story that I believe will give a lot of hope to a lot of people because somebody out there right now is sitting in their own chair of waiting for a change. And they have to decide. And my prayer is that they're going to see your story and they're going to decide today is day one.
Next one is from Demara.
Hey, Demara.
Said, a year ago today, I was in the hospital and I was terrified. I just learned that I had a stroke event and uncontrolled blood pressure. I was scared, depressed, and felt very much alone. Frankly, I was very lucky to be alive. I knew I couldn't continue on this path and I needed to make some drastic changes. I had been on keto once before about 3 years prior and I had a bit of success. I'd lost 40 pounds and thought I had things under control. Then I began eating cheat meals back into my life, and before I knew it, I gained the weight back plus some extra for good measure. Once out of the hospital, I immediately began my true keto lifestyle. I began slowly just by cutting off carbs and cooking my own meals. As time progressed, I made the shift from net carb count to total carb. I am now focused on cleaner ingredients and more of a carnivore way of eating. Fast forward a year, I'm down 83 pounds.
Demara.
I have so much more energy. My doctor recently reduced my blood pressure medication and countless non-scale victories. I'm a brighter, happier person, hiking in the woods with my dog. Thanks to the Two Crazy Ketos family, I'm no longer alone on this journey. Thank you for your posts, your tips, your recipes, and your hacks. It keeps people like me motivated to stay on track and to continue this keto journey.
Oh, Demara. Oh, I love that so much. Oh my goodness. And I love your precious little dog. It reminds me so much of our niece dog, Casey, right? Like that is amazing, but that is so awesome. And I'm thankful for Keto 2.0. Aren't you? I mean, I think that if I would have quit and then just stayed quitting, where would I be right now? I mean, I'm so thankful that it's not always one and done. Sometimes you have to come back to start over again. And that does not mean that it's a failure in my personality or my personhood. It's being a human being. Right. I mean, sometimes we have to go back and start again. And I'm so thankful for it. And like you, it's stuck this time. Like we're moving forward with this. And I'm so excited to hear not just the tremendous success that you've had in your body and in your health, but that you're out there doing something with the success that you've gained. That's powerful.
And once again, I think she says it best at the end. That is why we share our story.
Yeah.
Because we all need inspiration. We all need pick-me-ups. It's hard to do life alone to begin with. And doing this lifestyle, it can be challenging. And not all of us have somebody at home. And the thing is you have a great family in our community on Facebook, in our Mighty Networks group. If you go over to Mighty Networks, again, the link is down below for it. But it's like Facebook, but then there is a live chat. And pretty much at any time of the day, I've gone in there at 3 a.m, though I'm not supposed to be awake at 3 a.m.
That's right.
And there are people talking. There are people there to pick you up. People there to help you get along. And that's what this is about. We have too many of us have doctors and coworkers and friends and family members that think we're crazy for doing this. But I know We're improving our health, and I know slowly we're going to change the world one ribeye at a time.
We truly will.
We're going to take a quick fade to black for a commercial and then come back with all of the comments.
Like, not enough time. I need to like clean up.
Okay, we're going to start off with YouTube comments. The first one, we kind of mentioned this earlier, from John.
John
said, since Keto on the Couch is no longer on the couch, it can be Keto Beyond the Couch. Just a thought.
Okay, so when Joe actually mentioned this to me, I thought, yes, this is the greatest thing ever, because
it's not just about not being on a couch anymore.
It is about going out and living a real life. Like in the past, whenever we were on a fad diet, even if we had some kind of measure of success, we went right back home and got back on our couch and did nothing with it, right? Weight loss, anything. We just went right back and lived that same pitiful life that we were living. So now it's about, what are we going to do beyond the couch? Because first of all, we're not going back, which is not a cycle anymore of like lose and then gain. This is not a yo-yo diet. We're going to maintain health momentum. It won't just be you're going down in size, you're going up in health. That's another thing. You know, in the past, when we lost weight, we didn't lose pain.
That's right.
With this way of eating, we lose weight and we lose inflammation and pain, right? So this is a powerful thing.
Thank you so much, John. So from now forward, so long as we can remember actually
we'll be
say
quirky
it,
about it probably.
Keto on the Couch is now Keto Beyond the Couch. Life beyond the couch. And I love that. Now the question is, do we start with new numbers and start at 1 again?
No.
Or do we keep going?
Keep going.
Keep
because
going.
It
Just
is
changing the title.
It's part of our journey too. You know, it was through these journeys, you know, one keto beyond the couch at a time now, that, you know, I stopped coloring my hair. We bought an RV. Like we started, you know, going to conferences. That has all happened throughout our journey. You know, so this is a new change in our journey. I love it.
Next one is from Sue.
Hey, Sue, my why is multifaceted. Yes, number 1, definitely for inflammation and pain relief. Number 2, to be able to get on the floor and play with my grandbabies, 1 year old and 3 years old. Also, I needed to improve my lab work. My A1C was a 6.7. I was taking metformin, lisinopril, Cymbalta, Lyrica, and Crelibrex, and hydrocodone. I did not want to spend my life around pharmacy runs and medicine setups. Gosh, that's a powerful sentence right there. So far, I've been able to get rid of the hydrocodone, Cymbalta, and metformin. I am afraid to stop the Lyrica and Celebrex right now, but I hope to be able to do it soon. By the way, I tried the carnivore mug bread today. Thank you for this. Although a little greasy, it was delicious. Definitely not what I expected.
Sue, first of all, congratulations.
That is awesome.
And again, we say it all the time. Keto is not a weight loss diet. Okay. If you are doing keto, and this is going to sound harsh, if you are doing keto to lose weight with the intention to go back to the standard American diet, you might as well stop now, because most likely you're going to gain the weight back. We want you to look at keto as a health optimization lifestyle, and the weight loss is a side effect.
It's a great side effect.
It's a great side effect.
Much better than side effects from medication.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome, but you're going to improve so many other things. You're going to have more energy. You're going to be able to get off of this list of medications. You're going to feel better.
Play with those grandbabies.
Play with your grandbabies. Maybe you're going to be able to move more. And that's how we want to look at this. Again, I'm not trying to be super harsh and say, well, don't do keto. I just want you to do keto for the right reasons, because what happens is we do keto to lose weight. We go back to the standard American diet, and then we go, that keto thing doesn't work. Well, no, it wasn't that the keto thing didn't work. It was that we didn't change our lifestyle. We didn't change our attitude towards food. We didn't work on things like that.
Mindset is very, very important.
Yeah.
And I think that if we can save someone from having a bunch of success on keto, then going back to that sad diet and then experience the heartbreak of, when you gain back weight and you lose momentum in your health journey. That's very frustrating. If we can just help someone to avoid that pitfall, then I think that would be a good thing.
Yeah. And listen, sometimes we have a keto 2.0. We want to help you not have that if at all possible.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, for the carnivore mug bar, you can eliminate the butter and it won't be as greasy. I like greasiness.
I like
greasiness. Butter, but there is a lot of fat in the pork rind crumbs themselves that you don't really need the butter. For us, it just adds more flavor. Next one is from N. Robin.
Hey, how's it going?
Said, I was so discouraged about my ketone level, especially after listening to Dr. Boz and her followers. My blood sugar was still high enough that high ketones was not possible. I kept seeking answers and hope. Then I heard Dr. Barry say recently what his numbers were. Wow, it was freeing. As I heard you say, stick with the plan, trust the process. Sometime in the future, I may test ketones again, but not now.
It's hard, to stay in our lane, honestly. When we're eating the foods, we know that this is helpful. We know that we've eliminated so much. I mean, I think about going into the holiday season and how our holidays look so different than they did 10 years ago. I mean, just an incredible change. And it's so good. I mean, we could sit down right there and think to ourselves, we're doing great. But sometimes when we see somebody even, doing their keto just a little bit differently, we're like, do I need to change, or do I need to, I wonder if we're chasing numbers or if we're chasing them.
Right.
I feel like we're chasing someone else. And that person doesn't even understand that they're in a race with you, right? Like, they're not trying to race you.
Right.
They're just in their keto journey. So just stay in our lane. That's a really hard thing to do, but I think that it will bless our lives so much.
And I just want to clear this up. I want to make sure everyone understands we love Dr. Boz.
We sure do.
And I don't think Dr. Boz is wrong with things.
No.
I think Dr. Boz is dealing with some very sick people, and some people do need to have those extremely high levels of ketones, but not all of us. And what happens is we all look for extremes. And I think eating very low protein and ridiculous amount of fats is not appropriate for most of us. Some of us, yes, when we're, again, trying to look for therapeutic things, what are we trying to correct? And on the other side, I think eating ridiculously high protein with no fat is not good for most of us. The happy medium is somewhere in the middle, and we have to find what works for us. We are all individuals. The best place to always start, I truly believe this. We've tested this on ourselves. I know a lot of people. I've talked to a lot of professionals who work in the ketogenic space, medical professionals. We start with 1 gram of fat to 1 gram of protein, and then we adjust where we need it based on our own bio-individuality. Many times, increasing that fat up, but starting at 1-to-1 is a great place to start. Let's not get into extremes, because that can just mess with us as well.
Yeah.
Okay, next one is from a storybook finish.
What a beautiful name. How is triple B and E different from the definition of carnivore? As a carnivore, that's all I'm eating, triple B and E, mostly BBB, because eggs don't agree with me.
So basically, triple B and E, beef, butter, bacon, and egg, is carnivore on steroids.
Because on regular carnivore, a lot of people eat chicken,
dairy,
turkey,
fish.
Yeah, seafood of all kinds, like shrimp and stuff like that. So you'd be perfectly carnivore to incorporate even more, leaner things. But yeah, we're pretty fatty over here doing a triple B and E challenge.
Yeah. So the biggest difference is we're eliminating a lot of the lean foods. We're focusing on ruminant meat, because ruminant meat is one of the healthiest things you can put in your mouth. Yes, you can have bacon. You can have some of the fattier pork. And we get that question a lot. Like, I don't understand. If we're supposed to eat ruminant meat, why are we allowed to have bacon? Because bacon is fatty and it's delicious. And Dr. Barry said, how do we eliminate bacon out of our lives?
Right.
But we're supposed to be focusing on ruminant meat. So, like, if you look at your plate, if you look at the standard American diet, they say it should be like 75% vegetables, just a little bit of meat. We're going the other way around. On ketovore, you should be 75 to 95% meat with a little bit of vegetables. And then if we're looking at like beef, butter, bacon, and egg,
75% ruminant animals and 25% bacon.
Bacon, eggs, things like that. Or, 50-50 with the eggs, then a little bit of bacon.
Right.
But your meat, if you're eating meat, it should be mostly ruminant animals. So you can have a day where I'm going to have some pork, but maybe the rest of the week have a whole bunch of ruminant animal, but ruminant animals are super healthy. But that's all it is. Beef, butter, bacon, egg is just eliminating the dairy, the cheese, the fish, the chicken. Not that anything's wrong with those, but some of them bring inflammation. Chicken is very lean. Fish, if we're not eating the appropriate fish, could be full of some heavy metals. It could be farm raised, which could bring all kinds of inflammation. It can be lean. And again, beef, butter, bacon, egg, you can survive on it for the rest of your life. But it's really just a challenge, eliminating a whole bunch of things and then going from there. And the next one is from Michelle.
Hey, Michelle, totally agree with you on measuring ketones. It's just a tool, but it also has the potential to become a form of orthorexia, just like the scale. There are people who are so insulin resistant and metabolically sick, they cannot make ketones at all.
That's right.
Those are the people Dr. Boz is talking to. The ones who will give up because they are exhausted, lacking energy, not able to stick with it because they feel horrible. The nonsense of drinking a ton of fat and then showing how high your ketones are, well, duh. If you drink a bunch of fat, your ketones will go up. Does not prove that you will lose weight or improve your metabolism. Everyone has a sweet spot. Everyone has unique chemistry.
Perfectly said.
There's just like mic drop.
What we were just talking about. Dr. Boz is awesome, but she's working with very, very sick people.
Yeah.
And we just need to focus on staying in our lane. Let's not look to the left or the right. Horses, they have those things on for a reason, right? You don't want them to see what everybody else is doing.
Well, and the biggest thing is it's not just that they will be like, ooh, I would like what you would have. It's like, if I see something over there, I'm going to get scared, fearful, and react emotionally out of fear.
That's right.
And that is not a good way to make a decision, right? Yeah. It's not a good way to try to live out your keto journey in I'm so afraid. That's not good.
Let's take a quick fade to black and come back with some more comments.
Welcome back.
Okay, let's get into the Facebook comments. The first one is going to be from Crystal.
Hey, Crystal, I'm not ready to do it yet. I could do triple B and E, but my beverages are the issue. I drink cream and sweetener, liquid stevia or liquid sucralose in my tea and coffee. I could maybe go without the sweetener if I could still have the cream, or cut out the cream but keep the sweet. If I have to cut out both, then I have to cut out tea and coffee entirely because they are disgusting black.
I agree.
That will take some preparation. Also, tea is my bridge and my dessert. So I need to work on this situation before I can do triple B and E, or I'm setting myself up for a world of trouble.
Okay, I agree with you entirely to a point. First of all, the setting yourself up for a world of trouble is awesome. We've talked about all the time, even raising our kids. Don't set yourself up for failure. Don't set your kids up for your failure. We used to talk about with each other, you take the kids out to eat and you don't bring anything for them to do, and then you expect them to sit there for 2 straight hours and not make a sound.
Right. Here's a sugar packet. Play with that for the next 2 hours while mommy and daddy have a dinner with their friends. That is not going to work.
That's
Bring
setting
toys.
them up for failure. Who are we to think that they should sit there for 2 hours and then be perfect?
Yeah.
It's the same thing here. So here's what I'm going to suggest. Now, we've been doing beef, butter, bacon, and egg off and on for a year. And though we have said, and Dr. Berry said, the best way to do it is the way it's designed, the way we coach it, which is beef, butter, bacon, egg with no sweeteners, no snacking. That is going to bring you optimal results. But if you could do beef, butter, bacon, and egg and cut out either your sweetener or cut out your cream, you will most likely still have some results.
Are you challenging Crystal right now?
Well, I got a better challenge. So here's what I'm going to challenge you to do, Crystal.
Here we go.
I would love to see you do this, especially if you're looking for all of the benefits that can come with beef, butter, bacon, egg, like not having to track, increased satiety, learning about yourself, finding information from foods, things like that. So cream could possibly bring inflammation, but we don't know in that for you. So here's what I would do. Do beef, butter, bacon, egg, 30, 60, or 90 days, preferably 90. 90 is always going to be best because sometimes we need more than 30 days to fix something. Do 2 weeks of cutting out the cream, but leave your sweetener in your coffee. Then do 2 weeks where you cut out the sweetener, but you use the cream. See how you feel. See which one works better for you. You'll also know if you cut out the sweetener first and then you switch over to the cream and all of a sudden you've got some inflammation, guess what? You just figured out it's the cream. The only thing I'm going to tell you to do is don't have a lot of cream. Make sure you're tracking that cream. Make that, you don't have to track anything else other than the cream. Every time you put cream in, measure it out. And at the end of the day, add up how much you did. So if you do a tablespoon per cup and you do 3 or 4 cups throughout your day because you're using it as a bridge and you don't want to do one experience right now, which is fine. What you want to do is measure it up. So if at the end of the day you had 5 tablespoons, write that down. And then go into Chronometer and type in how many carbs are in 5 tablespoons, which is roughly 2. This way you at least have an idea. We're not just randomly adding a whole bunch of cream. But I think you will still have some really good results if that is the only extra thing. I've said the same thing about sweetener in electrolytes. If the only way you can do beef, butter, bacon, and egg is with sweetened electrolytes, then have it, because you're still going to be better than if you're eating all of the stuff that's not on beef, butter, bacon, and egg.
You can do it, Crystal.
Next one is from Julie.
Hey, Julie.
Julie said, I have 2 victories to share. My non-scale is my thighs are no longer rubbing together.
Awesome.
My scale victory is at 56 years old. I am back in the 160s for the first time since my 20s.
Wow.
Unbelievable. I'm down 32 pounds since April 22nd, 2022, and 40 pounds since 2019.
Wow, Julie, that is incredible. And let me tell you, I understand that victory. That victory really changes the way that you're willing to like go out and have excursions. Because I can tell you, when we would go to like Disney World or we would go to a park, we would go to the beach, when we would do a lot of walking, I wanted to participate. But as long as my legs were like always rubbing together and it meant that I was going to have to go home and tend to, you know, whatever like skin issues I had, and like I'd really rub it raw and get chafed. It was very uncomfortable to go to bed. It was really uncomfortable the rest of my week, and it limited my mobility, to be honest. So I love that. What a great victory.
Next one is from Bonnie.
Hey, Bonnie. Attempt number 5,683, slight exaggeration. Day 2. I feel horrible. I'm taking both magnesium and potassium supplements and ketochow electrolytes. I have a horrible headache and upset stomach. I know it'll pass. Just feeling unsupported at home since I was told I'm acting mental. Did a ton of meal prep yesterday. Anyone a happy planner or other disc planner crafter? I'm just starting, hoping to focus my energies when I want to eat, looking for ways to incorporate my health journey into my planner.
Okay, first of all, Bonnie, congratulations on attempt number 5,683.
Yes.
And I know it's an exaggeration, but the point is, I don't care if it takes you 100 times.
You're here.
You're here. Mm-hmm. And that's all that matters. Sometimes we need to do it over and over and over and over again, but eventually it's going to stick. And because you keep coming back, I know you're going to do well.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk a little bit about how to help you feel a little bit better.
Number 1, every single time somebody says something to you that is as inappropriate as you are being mental, that is a hurtful, terrible, nasty thing for someone to say to you. Yeah. And when another one of those comments get lobbed your way, because it will, because it's, I mean, I still get comments like that are just so undermining and hurtful. I want you to just say out loud, that is not true about me. You need to hear yourself reject that statement, because a lot of times what causes us to fail is we start believing that maybe these accusations of other people are true. Like if they're like, you know, you're not normal. This is going to kill you. You should not do this. You're upsetting the whole family with you doing this. You're hurting the holidays. You're making it weird for me. Whatever it is that they're saying to you that is just hurtful and is just trying to get you to stop, you need to confront that statement. Yeah. The statement is not true. Yeah. So I would call that out.
Yeah, I love that. And get into our Facebook group, get into Mighty Networks. And I do want to talk a little bit about the upset stomach and stuff, but since you brought that up, in this post, which was on Facebook, there were so many people who jumped in and said, awesome. I'm a happy planner. I love planning things. I love scrapbooking. You've got people like Shauna who love scrapbooking.
She's an amazing crafter.
I saw this post, and to watch more even than the post, what I was so amazed by, I shouldn't be amazed because we have an amazing community as it is, but to just see the people jump in and be like, we got you. We're going to be your lifeboat. When these people are saying these kind of things, you come to us. We're going to lift you up. And that's why the community is so important to us. Now, getting into the headache and the upset stomach, I would probably maybe cut back on the magnesium and the potassium supplements and stick to just the ketochow electrolytes for a little while. Make sure you're eating enough fat, okay? Make sure you're salting too. Salt is one of the biggest things, especially if you're having headaches, if you just are very tired. It does take a little bit of time. Also, fat. Our number one suggestion when somebody first gets started, even if it's attempt 5,683, is don't count anything. Don't count anything. I want you to come into this and eat as much as you want of fatty meat and eggs and butter and bacon. Just don't eat carbohydrates.
Right.
No sugar, no bread, no pasta, no grain, no fruit of any kind, including strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. No fruit at all for the first 2 to 4 weeks. Just eat delicious fatty meat, maybe a little bit of cruciferous vegetables. After you finish your meat, don't start with vegetables, finish with vegetables. Just don't eat all of the other stuff. But if you're eating all that fat, that's going to help your body with the ketones. It's going to really get you fat adapted, and it's going to give you the energy. When we first come into keto, what happens is we don't know what to do because our body is used to being carb fueled. We're not giving it carbs, and it's not yet fat fueled. So it starts going, oh my gosh.
What's happening?
How do we prime that? We give it fat. It knows to use fat as fuel, but many of us come into this with being afraid to give it fat. And when we do that, it becomes an issue and we kind of get sick and we don't feel good. So those are a couple of recommendations. Now, remember, we are not doctors, nurses, or health professionals, but I will say these are things that have worked for us and worked for a lot of people that we have helped coaching.
Also, Bonnie, you got friends in us. So just know that we're behind you and cheering you on 100%.
Okay, next one is from Jody.
Hey, Jody. How do you incorporate powdered collagen into your diet without breaking a fast, but putting it in your morning coffee? I can't seem to find anything else to mix it into.
This one's pretty simple. You don't. I'm not trying to be mean, but no, collagen's going to break a fast.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. Collagen is protein. It's not a complete protein, but it is protein, and it's going to break a fast. When you have protein, you have an insulin response that breaks a fast. Honestly, anything with calories, including fat, technically breaks a fast, but it depends on what you're fasting for. But protein will absolutely break a fast. So if you're looking to be truly fasted, hold off with your coffee or your collagen until later in the day when you're ready to break a fast. Maybe have black coffee in the morning, and then when you start opening your eating window, then you can have the collagen in there. But if you're really looking to fast, collagen's a no-no. You can't have it.
Well, and I might want to just kind of advise too, we can fast whatever meal we want to. So if you're struggling to fast breakfast, then it's okay. If you want to do breakfast and lunch or dinner, basically dinner that's a little earlier in the day, and then fast after a certain time of day in the evening. If that is easier for you, I'm a breakfast fan. Steve from Ketochow will tell you he's a breakfast fan. He could take or leave dinner, but he will not take or leave breakfast. He is only taking breakfast. Yeah. So, make sure that, whatever your fasting is, that it's a schedule that lines up with you. It doesn't need to look like how anybody else fasts.
And it doesn't need to be done every day. I mean, every other day is a good like extended fast, or a good, even if you're just like doing a 16-8, you don't have to do 16-8 every single day. And more studies are showing that actually skipping dinner is better than skipping breakfast, because our body actually does better being fueled during the day and then ending the eating window earlier, because when you go to sleep, you'll get into fat burning mode quicker. Next one is from Cheryl.
Hey, Cheryl.
Cheryl said, today I did some more clutter removal. and I decided to give away all of my fat clothes.
Wow.
And I'm never keeping a set of fat clothes again. I'm getting rid of them all.
That's awesome.
I have 2 large bags for Goodwill. It breaks my heart that at least half a dozen or more pieces still have the tag, but at least someone will enjoy them and I won't be tempted to keep them around.
Cheryl, I am so happy that you said this with the tag. Because let me tell you, I get most of my clothing, including this top right here, I shop at a thrift store. And because we just don't have the budget for me to buy a lot of clothes. I love clothes, but we don't have the budget for us to, for me to always buy new clothes. We just don't. And when we go to a thrift store and we see a shirt or a dress or a pair of pants that have the tag still on them, let me tell you, my mom and I do a happy dance. We get so excited and we will usually say, oh, bless this person who donated this with the tag on it, because it is new to me. Everything that I purchase at a thrift store, it is new as far as I'm concerned, because it is new for me. And it is a real treat for me to get a new shirt or a new pair of pants or a new dress. And when they have the tag on it, don't feel bad about the tag being on it. I know that that's hard for you, but you are blessing someone so mightily. And I'm excited that those are out of your house so that you never have to contemplate feelings of, I'm going back there.
Yeah. Next one is from Amy.
Hey, Amy, question for those of you who don't tolerate dairy well. Do you tolerate ketochow?
This is a great question. And the reason I put it in is because we're one of those people. We tolerate butter well because I don't consider butter dairy because it's pretty much all fat. But we don't tolerate lots of heavy whipping cream well. We can have a little bit in coffee, but if we get into making ketochow with heavy whipping cream or drinking 3 or 4 ounces of it, it can give us an upset tummy. Eating lots of cheese can bloat me a little bit, make me very phlegmy depending on the kind. Biggest problem for me with cheese is I just overconsume it. But there are a lot of people that I have met that have an intolerance to dairy but can handle ketochow. And I was talking to Chris about this. I think that one of the reasons is ketochow is made from a milk protein isolate, which is a combination of the casein and the whey protein. However, it's got a lot of the lactose taken out, where I think it's like 1%. He actually gave me the exact number in grams in a serving of it because it's Chris and he's a nerd. I want to say,
nerd.
I don't remember the exact amount. And I think it was like 0.675 grams or something like that. But I think because it's got a small amount of lactose, and maybe if you just have a little bit of intolerance to dairy, you can still handle that. The best thing to do is to try it out. I get a single serving packet. It's free shipping even for 1 serving anyway, and try it that way.
Well, and I'm really glad that you brought this subject up because I think a lot of people this month are doing like the triple B and E challenge, but you use ketochow on a regular basis. So as you go back to ketochow after this is over, consider using butter as your fat source. If you are somebody that before this challenge always use a bunch of heavy whipping cream. I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow your mind. A lot of times we add the heavy whipping cream as the fat source because we're thinking that it's going to make it more flavorful.
Nope.
And it's not. I'm going to tell you, if you're looking for the ketochow flavor to be more intensified, it's the butter.
Use butter
or
avocado oil.
Yeah.
But heavy whipping cream will mute the flavor.
Actually mutes it.
It makes it thicker, but we can fix that with beef gelatin or adding in a little bit of xanthan gum or a little bit of Terra gum. But yeah, the heavy whipping cream will mute the flavor. So, but that is, I would suggest getting 1 individual packet, trying it that way, and then if you do okay, you can get a big bag of it or something like that.
Yeah.
Next one's from Jean.
Jean
said, we were going on a 7-day Mexican Riviera cruise in November, and Patty is already stressing about staying keto on the cruise. We used to cruise 2 to 3 times a year, but this will be our first one since starting keto last September. I told her that we know what we can eat, so just ask for specific menu items so we can safely eat without sauces. Do we need to ask for diabetic or very low carb menu? No. Here's the thing about cruises, and I know we are excited about going on the low carb cruise next year. Rachel's never been on a cruise.
Never. I hope that your teeth don't act up and we can get to go.
Yeah. So here's the thing. You can have whatever you want on a cruise. When it comes to dinner time, what would you like for dessert, Jean? A lobster. What would you like for dessert? can I have another prime rib? You know,
Right.
you can do what you want. Go to the pizza bar. I don't know what cruise line you're going on, but go to the pizza bar, eat all the pizza you want, just rip the toppings off, throw out the crust. What I'm going to tell you to do, and we just finished actually working with one of our coaching clients on this, go on the cruise, enjoy yourself, just stay keto. Don't go to try to keep your beef, butter, bacon, and egg going. Don't go to try to stay carnivore if you're okay with coming off a carnivore. Don't go on there going, I've got to count everything. Eat as much as you want.
Enjoy yourself.
Just keep it keto. Stay away from the sugar and the desserts that are, maybe if you want to have a little bit of, strawberries, ask them, can you make me some like whipped cream with no sweetener? Most of the time they will do that. You don't have to ask for a specific diet thing. There's plenty of meat there. Just keep it keto and enjoy yourself and don't stress.
Well, and the biggest thing is being brave enough to ask for another one of the entrees, because we're like, oh, they've only really allotted one lobster or, a certain amount of brisket per person. No, they haven't. Do not worry about that. You are on the cruise. They want to serve you. And we're hearing time and time again that people that go on cruises and they ask, for an extra steak, an extra lobster, more shrimp, more crab, they never get met with any kind of challenge over it. The servers are more than happy to get them more of whatever it is that they specifically want.
I think it was Christopher who during a low carb cruise this past year actually said that Dr. Sivas said, like, I think we're going to have a lobster shortage because he was like literally eating lobster for dessert every night.
Yeah.
Heath and Shelly, you can go look at their channel. They were showing what they were eating for desserts. They were like, hey, I want extra shrimp. I want steak, escargot. So just go and enjoy yourself. The last thing you want to do is stress yourself on a cruise. And this goes for anybody. If you're going on vacation, enjoy yourself. Don't go on your vacation trying to track your macros or whatever you're doing. If you're on a specific challenge, lighten up on the challenge while you're on your trip. Keep it keto. You will be happy when you got home. Our coaching client we just finished working with, she went on a cruise for a week. She came home, same weight.
Yeah,
she ate whatever she wanted, so long as she kept the keto, same weight.
The only thing is,
that's a win.
That is a super win. And also, now you can vacation and have more exploration, right? Yeah. When Joe and I used to go on a vacation, it was all centered around the food. It was not centered around the excursions or the exploration of the place where we were at. It was like we were at the hotel and then we would go to a restaurant. There wasn't a lot of, looking at the sites and walking a lot and, bicycle riding or, swimming all over the place. It was mostly like just seated and we weren't exploring very much. So that's going to be really fun too, because we're changing what we're focused on. It's nice that all the food and everything is provided for a cruise, but there's other things on the cruise. Like, what is it? The Riviera is where they're going. That is like so stinking awesome. So I can't wait to see the pictures.
Yeah. Next one is from John.
Hey, John.
John said, my wife is down 103 pounds as of today. 3 pounds to go away. Only took her 12 months.
John, I am so stinking impressed with your wife. That is so good. And also, way to go cheering her on publicly.
I love it.
We need that. We need our partners to recognize that we've done good, that we've done well, that we've put the hard work in, and that you guys and you gals are proud of us.
That's right.
That means a lot. Whatever Joe says to me, it has weight to it because he's my partner in life. So when he says like, you really worked hard today, or great job, it has more value to me than someone just saying, oh, you did good. And it's like, all right, what does Joe think? Does Joe think I did good?
We have one more. And it is from Diane. Diane put up this great picture of her food. And I love this, what she wrote. Eat your medicine.
So good.
I'm working on a 2-to-1 ratio of fat to protein. And this is 70 grams of fat, 35 grams of protein. I'm not doing triple beanie, so hence the use of a bit of relish.
That's all right.
I significantly upped my fat yesterday, and I slept 8 hours last night.
Wow.
It has been years since I've done that without the use of over-the-counter sleep meds. Interesting. One night doesn't a protocol make, but it looks promising. Amber O'Hearn mentioned in a YouTube video I watched last night that your energy can bottom out in the middle of the night and it leads to bad sleep.
That's good.
In a nutshell, not verbatim. Anywho, we will see where this takes me. This is probably why some people say they sleep better with a little bit of carbs before bed. It's an energy issue. Interesting.
That is an interesting thing. And searching for better sleep is a really great objective, right? Like we need more sleep. And I love that. Yeah, we just need to increase our energy.
Yeah, and let's put this out there. She's not advocating eating carbs before dinner.
No.
What she's saying is the carbs are fuel. But what do we eat for fuel? We eat fat. So she upped her fat. She ate a lot more fat, and she had a good night's sleep. Because what happens is, and again, this is what our body's supposed to do. Protein's not the enemy. We just need to increase the fat. We've been talking about that. Just increase the fat. But if we're eating a bunch of protein and we're not eating enough fat, our body needs fuel. Gluconeogenesis, which is where our body creates glucose, and not just from protein, but it can also do it from fat. It can do it from the fatty acids. It can do it from your muscle. It's just going to create it when it needs it. If it's not getting enough fuel, it's going to create fuel in the form of glucose. That could give us higher glucose readings in the morning. It's going to keep us up at night. So if you eat that fat, you're going to give yourself enough fuel to get through the night. So if you're having that trouble, number one, work on turning off some of the devices a couple hours before you go to bed or an hour before you go to bed. Don't eat so close to bedtime, and make sure you eat a good fatty meal. I love that.
I love that too. And you don't think about sleep as being a job.
Right.
It takes work.
It does take
to go to
work.
bed. And it's so funny. I mean, I'm using my Oura Ring because I'm monitoring. Am I doing a good job at sleeping?
Yeah.
So yeah, fuel up even for sleeping. I think that that's very powerful.
Well, that is going to be this week's episode of Keto Beyond the Couch.
I love it.
I do love it. We have to figure out a new way to say it, but I really love it. It can be like to infinity and beyond.
Let's do this.
So we're really excited. We will be back live next Monday for Keto Beyond the Couch. We'll also be live this Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We are actually going to have a very special guest. Bronson Dant will be joining us for this week's live stream. And also, if you are a member of our Triple B&E course, we will have our weekly check-in tonight at 6 p.m. over on Crowdcast. The link is inside of the course. Everybody have a great week, and we'll see you on Thursday.
We love you.
Bye.